So before we get started, I just want to make sure you're aware of our confidentiality agreement. Anything that is said between us is completely private and confidential unless I believe that you are going to be a harm to yourself or others. Is that understood?
Yep.
Okay. So how come you're here today?
My stepdad has had some pretty severe mental health issues. That's been really hard on like myself and my family.
Health issues such as what? If you would like to share.
He's had very severe clinical depression since he was like 20 years old, but then recently within the past year it's gotten especially severe due to some life changes with his job and everything, so that's kind of sent him spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
But for the past I guess now it's been like a year and a half, he's needed like very specific care from all members of the family and like specific type of therapy, so it's been really just a big adjustment for the entire family, I guess.
What's that like for your mom? Since
I know it puts a lot of pressure on my mom just because she has to be a caretaker role, which I don't think she expected to do at like her age and his age. So I think it's just there's a lot of pressure on her, and then that puts pressure on just like the rest of the family because we also want to help my mom out, but there's 5 kids in my family and we're all either like moved out or in college and everything. So my mom's kind of like alone to take care of him. So I know that like just puts a lot of pressure on her, which is hard for the family again overall.
Mm-hmm. And do you have other siblings?
Yeah.
Do you have children?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 5. 2 of them are step, but I have an older sister and an older brother, and then an older stepsister and an older stepbrother. But a lot of times, like, the only people that really will, like, help my mom out are myself and my stepsister. So it's kind of, like, frustrating if, like, other members of the family don't try to help my mom out, because I know she's really stressed out trying to deal with, like, working and just, like, everyday life, plus my stepdad's mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be frustrating, too.
What kind of help is he receiving?
Well, there's been like a mixture of things for the past year and a half, but he's been going to different therapists for a while, like trying to find out which one that he thinks works best for him, and then psychiatrists. And then he got like electro something, I can't remember the name, treatment like 3 or 4 times a week for a while, and that really helped him. Except then it started being that it only helped him on the day of treatment, and then the off days he'd be like very, very bad. So it didn't really like prove to be effective. It was almost like he had like a synthetic version of bipolar disorder when he was getting those treatments done. It was kind of weird. But and then he recently just got out of an inpatient facility down in Arizona, and he was there for a month. So he's kind of gotten every form of therapy you can do for someone who's clinically depressed. Like, we've done all we can do, but there's still obviously like issues that still need to be like resolved with that, and it's kind of an ongoing process. So because like this has been so long, it just has like really worn on like my family just due to like the length that this has been going on, and like how severe it is. But
how does it affect their marriage of your mom and your stepdad?
I guess like a lot of it, like when I know my mom's even said like she doesn't even feel like she's like married to him, because so many of the things that made their relationship completely changed with his illness. And like I said, like she has just become the caretaker instead of maybe like a wife. So I just know that's been like a really big adjustment, and just like she's had to been like because he is depressed, like he has no motivation to do anything. Like she's had to been the one to be like, you need to get off the couch and like do something, and she's had to be like more stern with him to like do things, and I know like she normally would be, but she just is like very frustrated. So it's almost like she just feels like she's the role of like the therapist 24/7, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
How is he ever since he got out of the inpatient care facility?
Well, he was really, really good as soon as he got out. Like it seemed like he really had just like a new perspective on things, and that's exactly what he needed to really like jumpstart his recovery. But then yesterday was his first day back at work, which is a job that he got I guess like near Thanksgiving, and because he didn't have a job for a while and he was getting disability and he left the job he was at, And then, so then he got this new job, and obviously he wasn't performing like he normally would be in a job when he was in the depth of his illness. So then, instead of his job, like, waiting to see how he would do back, because he, like, went on medical leave and then took his vacation, the first day back yesterday, they demoted him and then cut his pay in half. So that's, like, almost kind of was, like, a slap in the face for, like, when he was, like, finally, like, getting to a place where he felt like he could really, like, recover.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's, like, now another thing that, like, my parents are specifically dealing with now. It's, like, a huge financial issue now. So, like, now it's emotional, and possibly, like, we'll have to, like, if he doesn't get a new job, then, like, we're going to have to sell our house and stuff. So that's, like, another thing that my mom is really worried about, and, like, we're all worried about. But, yeah.
How is it affecting your siblings?
Well, I think some of my siblings, they try to stay almost, like, detached from it because it is such, like, a hard thing to deal with, that they kind of let, like, my mom deal with it. But then me and my stepsister are the ones that are, like, actively getting involved with it and, like, trying to figure out what's going on, even though it does suck. But I sometimes feel like me and my stepsister are the only ones trying to actually deal with the issue and, like, see it for what it is instead of just ignoring it. But yeah, I think a lot of my siblings, I feel like are, like, almost caught up so much in, like, their life because they're older and, like, either, like, live farther away or, like, starting their own families, that they're not looking at this family as, like, their central family anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily their primary concern, but, like, my stepdad and my mom are, like, the family I have right now as far as, like, who I see all the time. So yeah, I feel like my other siblings, it might hit them later on, like, the severity of it, if there are any, like, physical changes that have to happen, like moving. But
are you close with your siblings at all?
Yeah.
Has this caused any, like, strains in relationships?
Yeah, it hasn't. Like, my sister, like, I understand why she's not as involved because she is, like, planning her wedding and is like basically, like, a stepmom to this little boy, so she's very involved with, like, her family, so I get why she's not as involved. And my brother, he lives in Utah, so, like, he really can't. But my stepbrother and I's relationship has basically been, like, entirely ruined from this because I've been, like, trying to push him to, like, care and be a part of the family and, like, be involved in the process of his, like, recovery and, like, trying to help him. But he basically just kind of refuses to, and we don't really know why. We don't know if he's just trying to avoid it or what the issue is. But so yeah, me and my stepbrother really aren't in good terms ever since all this has been going on, just because I don't really understand where he's coming from and he doesn't really understand where I'm coming from. So that's definitely affected, like, some of our family dynamics, just because we're all together. There's, like, obvious tension between my stepbrother and I.
Mm-hmm. But are you Tom, your stepdad, close?
Weirdly enough,
has this caused any, like, strains with him?
It's actually made our relationship better, just because it's made me, like, make more of an effort with him, just because I think I appreciate him more. Just so with everything that happened, like, I realized, like, maybe he, because, like, there was, like, a suicide incident, so then that, like, kind of woke me up, like, this is a lot more serious than we thought, and so, like, I guess I just, like, appreciate him more and, like, make an effort with our relationship more. But, so it's actually helped it, but I think with, his son, it's really strained it, hence why his son really isn't, like, making an effort with him, but.
Mm-hmm. So, you said that, he has been demoted from his job. What is his plan of action now?
I think he's trying to see what he can do and where he's at right now for the time being, and seeing how he can get more involved with the company and see if there's any way he could move his way back up. But I know he doesn't particularly like his job anyways, so he, I think, is going to try to find a new job, but that's just, like, another stress on top of everything that's obviously kind of hindering his recovery. But yeah, he's taken it a lot better than we all thought he would. So, like, we think, like, the inpatient facility really gave him the tools to, like, take this situation well, but it just was pretty bad timing as far as, like, when we would find this all out, like, his first day back at work. But
I'm sorry. It's, like, a really big emotional burden on the whole family.
Yeah, for sure.
And with your sister's wedding, your sister's getting married?
Yeah, so we have a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But
are you close with your is your biological father around?
Yeah. So luckily my mom and my dad are still really, really close. They're really good friends. So my dad has been able to help my mom a lot, and he has, just because my dad and my stepdad are friends. It's kind of an oddly great relationship. But so my biological dad has been a really, really great help throughout the entire process.
Okay,
it has really helped my mom out with like us and all the kids and everything. So.
Mm-hmm. How is this affecting you, with school or anything? Is this big stress for you?
Yeah, it's a stress in the sense that I feel pressure to go home more and like help out my mom, because my mom also is taking care of her mom who has dementia, so she's like taking care of her all the time too. So my mom is like constantly a caretaker for everyone. So I feel guilty if I'm not able to go home all the time. So yeah, it's definitely an added stress.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see all this, going?
I think I'm just kind of like open for whatever right now, just because I'm trying not to have expectations, just because throughout this entire process I think I learned that like things can happen very suddenly and things change. So I think I just try to stay optimistic about it because I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're like all taking the right steps to make sure that like his recovery is going the best we can make it. Like I think we've done everything we can for him, and it's kind of up to him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But relatively speaking, I think we're in a good place for like him to get better. So I only see I don't see it like getting worse than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. It just is hard to say like how long this process will like fully take. It's kind of an ongoing thing. So
are you keeping yourself busy? What kind of things are you doing to cope with this?
Well, a lot of times, like, I'll talk to my mom about it just because that, like, eases my, like, anxiety about the situation, because I do feel like I need to stay in contact with my mom and see if she needs help.
Mm-hmm.
So just, like, talking to my mom on, like, a very regular basis helps me cope with it, just so I know what's going on, just because I do have, like, anxiety over it, just because it's almost to the point where I've had so many, like, bad phone calls regarding the situation that I'm constantly expecting a bad phone call. So, yeah, that's the thing I do. And then just, like, keeping busy in general helps, just because it is hard if like I'm constantly like thinking about that and constantly anxious about that, then it doesn't obviously help the situation. So just keeping him busy in general really helps too.
Mm.
But yeah, like my mom made it very clear that I should like call her as much as I want about the situation to see like how he's doing or like what I can do if like that helps me. But she says that I shouldn't feel pressure to like help her, but obviously I do just because I care. But yeah, I don't know.
Are your other siblings close with your mom, even if they're her stepchildren, I guess?
Yeah.
We say they don't help her out as much.
Yeah, they don't really help her out as much, but I guess maybe because I feel like I am a little closer to my mom than the rest of my siblings, they might not understand the issue as much as I do.
Because you're the youngest and you've been around the longest. During this, I guess.
Yeah, like I've definitely been in the middle of it the longest. But and again, like my stepbrother, he isn't very close to my mom. Like there's like definitely like a gap in my family. There was a gap like before with my stepbrother, not really like, cooperating with the family, but now there's like an even bigger one due to all these issues, to the point where like I don't even think anyone talks to my stepbrother anymore, just because the relationship has been so strained, and every conversation that is with him is just a negative one. So I think like he's definitely been avoided, and yeah, that's like I just feel bad because that's like another stress on my mom, is she like worries about the relationship she has like with his son.
Are they close with? Is their mother around?
Not really. So yeah, she's kind of does her own thing and like isn't really concerned with her kids' lives very much. So I mean like I do feel for his children, because like that is like their one like active parent, and then this year it kind of got changed. They're kind of like all alone. So then that also, again, like my mom feels like she needs to like be a parent to them, when they never really like viewed my mom that way before as much. So it's kind of, now there's like really weird dynamics with who they look at as like a parental figure. So but yeah, so it's kind of weird, but I think now that he's getting better, like the dynamics will get better and go back to how they normally were, and hopefully like with my stepbrother get stronger, I guess.
Well, I'm so glad you came in today, and I hope someone helped you a little bit, just be able to talk some things out, and I will see you